Hi everyone, welcome back. So in our previous video, we successfully created our ERC20 smart contract, and this smart contract implemented the basic features of an ERC20 token standard. So remember, the ERC20 token standard has a lot of functionalities other than this, and you can simply just get the code from GitHub. But in our token, we implemented the basic functions, okay? And for any token that wants to be compliant with the ERC20, it needs to implement a minimum state variables and functions, and we did that in our previous video. So in this video, we are going to create the supply chain smart contract, and the supply chain smart contract is going to have functions that we manage the different stages that the product goes from its creation to consumptions, to how customers pick them up. So let's jump into creating the supply chain smart contract. So the first thing is we paste our license, and also don't forget to specify the Solidity compiler version. We use the contract keyword to start creating our contract. So we need to start with the data structure first. This is the variables that we'll need. So in this supply chain contract, we're going to have three main entities. One is going to be the product, the other is going to be the participants, like the suppliers and the transport people and all that. Then we're also going to have ownership. We need to be able to prove ownership of a particular product. So let's start creating state variables for these entities. First of all, we'll need to have a product ID, a participant ID, and owner ID. So we are creating So we've created all the IDs. The next will be to create a particular product, and for this we're going to use a dynamic data type called struct, okay, to create a product. And what struct does is that struct is a data type that can group other data types, okay, and type that and you appreciate more. So we're going to create a struct called product, and for a particular product we need to have different fields, okay, or attributes. So we're going to have a combination of three different data types. So the first one is going to be a string called the model number. The second is another string called the part number. Serial number. An address. We've seen an address type before. So these are all the attributes that a typical product should have. They can be more, but for this application sake, let's keep it this simple. So we've created the first struct to hold information about a particular product. So now we're going to create another mapping so that we can have a list of products. Okay. So if you see what I'm doing here, so I just created a new map called product, and this mapping, it's mapping the key a uint to a particular product. Okay, so and over here we're passing the struct product that we created as the other value. So a map can take different kinds of different types of data type. So let's create the next struct, which is going to be for participants. This will hold participants information. So we can start declaring the so these are different information about a participant. Yeah, so we have our participant information created. So we've created the participant struct, and it has the different attributes. It has the username, password, participant type, and the participant address, which is an address data type. So we need to also create a mapping so that we can have a list of participants. So I hope you understand what we're doing. The mapping contains a uint key and a struct value. So if you want to find out a list of participants, how many participants do we have, that we can use this this mapping to do that. So let's go ahead and create the last entity, which is the ownership. We'll do that in another struct. And this struct is going to have the following I'm going to explain all of them in a moment. So we've created the ownership struct, and it has the following attributes. It has a product ID, owner ID, transaction timestamp, and product owner. So we still have 2 more mappings to create before we are done with this video. Okay, let's okay, just like what we've been doing before for other strokes. So we're almost done. Okay, yes. So yeah, I have an error here. Yeah, so we're good. So these 2 new map, this is how we can track ownership by ownership ID. Okay, this is how we can track who owns a particular product by using the ownership ID. And we can also use this to track the ownerships by product ID. Okay, so these are our state variables that we'll need to implement our smart supply chain smart contract functionalities. So in the next video, we are going to create the functions. Okay, see you in the next video. Thank you.